Hi everyone, it's March 2016. Let's take a look at your alchemy scope. You are an embodied reflection of Source. You are thus infinitely empowered, abundant, and a co-creator with your context always. You are an alchemist. Divination works because the web of life is intelligently organized with coordinated and storied agency. Let's take a look at the stories playing out now. Hi everyone. So let's look at the story, the symbology that is informing this Pisces new moon solar eclipse cycle. Okay, the Sabian symbol for this March 8th, March 9th new moon solar eclipse, as we start the eclipse season, as we move into a month where we begin our, we go through the equinox and we begin a new zodiac cycle. Indeed, it feels like a kickoff. The real kickoff for 2016, for this game-changing year. And here we have a fascinating and feels like a perfect symbol, a master instructing his disciple. Now I'm recording this after I've done all of the readings, and you will see that the teacher card came up again and again in the spreads over the course of this month, and it's fascinating. Some of the keywords for this symbol are education, knowledge, but also initiation. And indeed, it does feel like we are moving through an initiatory period where we are, the stove is heating up and we are coming to a boil. And things are going to be moving fast this year. And we are going to be asked to mature quickly, as we have been, but it's becoming exponential now, the requirement, the obligation. So it is an initiation, everyone, and this is going to be a game-changing year. And so let's take a look. Let's move on to the individual signs and see what is it that's coming up for each of us individually in this very dynamic month. Hi everyone, it's March 2016. Let's take a look at your alchemy scope. Scorpio, welcome. So here we are outside, and I'm going to be throwing your I Ching hexagram. It's a beautiful day. It's a Sunday, it's green, sunny. I have privacy where I am now, which is fabulous. And we're going to throw some coins. I'm using my 50p coins. I happen to have 3 of them left from my voyages to the UK many years ago. And you can use any coins that you have in your possession. You can use 3 of them. So let's start. So we're picking up the storyline, Scorpio, for you, like the underpinning energy set, the story that is kind of governing the energy for your demographic, for Scorpios, over the course of this Pisces new moon cycle, Scorpio. We're starting off with 3 heads, Scorpio. The heads have a value of 3 each, and the total 9 equals, is the equivalent of a solid line. Scorp. What do we have here? We have 2 tails and a head. So we have 2 tails worth 2 each and a head. There we have a value of 7. 7 is also a solid line. It's what's called a simple solid line. The 9 is what's called a transforming solid line. For these generalized scopes, though, I only assess the simplicity of the meaning. So I only assess simple lines, if that makes sense. So I'm throwing the coins, getting the numbers, and we're getting what's essentially the equivalent of the simple lines in order to appeal to the large demographic that we're tapping into here. because it's the general foundational storyline. So here we have one head and two tails, which gives us a value of 7. And what is your 4th line, Scorp? What is your 4th line? So here we have 3 tails. So Scorpio, I'm going to be lifting up the form, my document, after I finish creating your hexagram, so you can see the form of your story. Scorp. Okay, here we have 2 heads and 1 tail, which is a value of 8. And we have one more line. One more line for Scorpio. It's interesting. There's been one that's wanted to come out early. So it's interesting because that's not happened with any of the other signs. So I take the quality set of the readings to directly impact what is being communicated. So for you, there's something that's wanting to come. There's something that's wanting to jump out of you, perhaps a creative project. I mean, we'll see. We're going to pull your spread and everything, but that's interesting. There's something kind of pushing, jumping out. So here we're ending it with how we began it, which Scorpio is 3 heads. 3, 3, 3, which is 9. 9 is a solid line. This is a 9 year. It could be that during the cycle, Scorpio, you're going to have something completed, a project that you've been working on that's completed, that's going to push out. Yeah, beautiful. Let me build it. So we have a solid line at the bottom, we have another solid and another solid, 2 broken, and then it's capped with a solid. So Scorpio, this is the image of your hexagram this month. Scorpio. Okay, so I have already shuffled, and it was a strong shuffle, so I'm very curious to see what's coming up. Using my Siri deck, I am going to pull an 8-card spread. It's called a spiral spread, and we are going to see what is unfolding for the month ahead, for this solar eclipse new moon cycle, this powerful eclipse season, this powerful new moon cycle, this powerful 2016 year. Indeed. Okay, so let's do it. Interesting placement of the comfort card here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And let me just pull some extra pieces here. And if you can't see them, Scorp, I'll pull them up to the camera. I think you can see a lot of them, but not all of them. Oh, wow. Okay. So, you know, listen, it's juicy. It's juicy. And Scorpios have been going through it, you know, for years. A lot of us have been going through it for years, but Scorpios have been going through it for years. So at the beginning of the month, Scorpio, there is going to be somebody from the past, it looks like, might be coming up. There's something. Let me look at this for a second. This is what I'm getting, Scorpio, for you. It's like you are navigating at the beginning of the month. So starting at this March 8th, 9th solar eclipse, new moon, Scorpios are navigating between the past and the future. What has passed? What do we want? How is the past still coming up and influencing what we're seeing for our future? But there's something specifically in regards to exchanges. These are business exchanges. These could also just be interpersonal exchanges, how relationships. And also the foundation of relationships. And so it could be that at the beginning of the month, Scorpio, there is a focus on the future. So the very beginning of the cycle, that first week, so after the 8th, 9th of March, that week, that there's going to be a focus on, okay, I want something perhaps different than I've had in the past with regards to the foundations of relationships or the foundations of exchanges. Okay? Now, in the middle of the cycle, it could be that you get physically sick, or it could be that there's a toxicity that does rise. Now listen, a lot of you are not going to like this message because we have already gone through so much. It's like no more. I can't handle anymore. It's enough already. But just breathe, because what's happening for all of us, for all the signs, but for Scorpio too, we are being inundated with all of the threads of stuff, of story, of past life. By the way, of past life stuff. There's a lot of karmic patterns that's rising up in our psyche and our consciousness lately. So I really want you to just breathe through this, because it could be that by the middle of this intense eclipse season, Scorpio, you are going to feel like you're going to feel toxic. And literally this could manifest in the body. So some of the karmic patterns that have not worked anymore, again, this is past future navigation that you're going through at the beginning of the month. It could be that you feel done. It's like you're cooked. You can't do anymore. And it might be too that there's so much up that it just is overwhelming, and it does make you physically sick because of the mental, emotional, spiritual component, the heaviness. And indeed, by the end of the month, some of you might be feeling resistance, like you're resentful. There's some resentfulness that's coming up around no more. I don't want any more. But the thing here with the falling in love card is that there is love at hand, like the support that is arising for you over the course of the cycle is love. There is potentially a new love relationship that is going to show up this month. However, you have to navigate the undercurrent that might be unfolding, okay? So keep in mind, your I Ching was containment of potential, which means that there is so much there. There is so much there that is waiting to arise, to emerge, to come forward. So don't let conditions, don't let the foundations, the structure, the 3D structure of your difficulties, whatever difficulties are at hand, don't let that be the thing that makes you sick. It's about seeing beyond it, seeing into the immaterial functionality of it to grow you, because it's all growing you at a more extreme pushed level now. You can do it. Now, falling in love, you could fall in love this month. It could be that something erupts in your reality, that it comes through you, that you feel it. And it also could be a relationship, that a relationship could arise this month for you. Now, let's see here. This one is what to understand or to change. Transformation of communication is calling. So this is what needs to happen, what needs to change. There is something that isn't working with your communications. Now keep in mind, what's coming up at the beginning of the month has to do with exchanges. So this is a matter of really looking very closely and clearly, Scorp, at your communications, because what's asking to happen is a transformation of communications. How do you communicate? What wording, what language, what tone? How do you communicate? Okay, so that is needing to be addressed. Okay, now let's see here. This is the interesting section here. So this is well, actually, it did come up in a different sector. I was thinking it was the same as Taurus, but it's actually a different sector. So what is calling? What is your desire? Is comfort, health, safety. Your desire, Scorpio, over the course of this cycle is comfort. It's to remember the good times, to be in the energy sets that really felt good for you in the past. This is the good past. It's the good memories. It's to be healthy. It's to be free. It's to be in balance. And it's to be protected. So your desires are many over the course of the cycle. Yeah. And they're all valid. They're so valid. So really honor them. Honor what those desires are and really put a lot of attention into them so that they can become manifest. So the action to take is interesting. This is the action to take, Scorpio. And there's something here about receiving place. So I mean, certainly with your location, for example, if you tend to hang out at a certain place or a certain location, it's about being open to receive communications and trading. That's what I'm getting. So be open to receive. This is the action to take over the course of the cycle. Be open to receive at the places that you go. So whatever your daily routines are, be open to receive. There could be magic that is available to you. In fact, this is the magic. This is the magic. So there's potential. In fact, keep in mind the I Ching was containment of potential. So if you're open to receive at the places that you frequent on a daily basis, and by the way, new places that you decide to frequent, fabulous. This is the guidance. This is the action to take, Scorpio. Now, the final outcome. This is good. This is very good, in fact. So what looks to be the outcome of the month for you is discernment. So you're going to go from kind of an assessment process and a resistance process, at least for some of you, to a cleanliness, a discernment, a distilling of your thoughts, your beliefs, your experiences, what your reality is. This is nothing but good. This is nothing but delicious. And it's made even more delicious by bliss. So you are going to be, by the end of this cycle, you are going to be discerning what it is that you really want, dear Scorpio. You're going to be discerning what it is that really makes you happy. And I have to tell you, this outcome for you could not be more totally on point for where people need to get to ride the rest of 2016 out. So this is aligned with where you need to be. This is a process of you discerning through potential difficulties, through potential resistance. It's about discerning where you want to go, discerning what brings you enjoyment, happiness, and bliss. Because when we identify that, then we can move forward. Then we can choose what we want to focus on. Then we can choose what we want to make manifest. Gorgeous for you, Scorp, I have to tell you. It starts a little rough, but the proper things unfold. I mean, the right lessons are being learned here. So be open. Be open, because again, magic could unfold, and it could actually be quite stunning. So let's go ahead and see what else we have for you this month. Scorp, Welcome. So let's take a look. I wasn't ready. I was going to pack up and go, but I had brought my cards just in case. And now that we've completed the I Ching throws, I am just really desiring to stay outside and pull your archetype for this cycle. So what is it for Scorpios that is asking them to grow it, mature it, evolve it? Scorpio. Scorp. What's coming up here? So Monk Nun is coming up at the bottom, but that's not our card. But it is the secondary message, I have to say. I'm really getting clear on that. Now, beautiful, interesting. So Monk Nun was at the bottom, and the growth edge for you, what wants to be matured, is Gambler, which is interesting. So this is about evolving out of reliance on luck rather than hard work. And it's about evolving into a willingness to follow intuition, even when others doubt you. I notice for a lot of my clients, this is very activated. It's about really learning, relearning how to believe in ourselves in a brand new way, because we've been so disconnected from that. It's not our faults. It's just kind of it's the cultural norm. But the paradigm is shifting. And we're remembering our empowerment, our innate empowered being, self, essence, self. So Gambler, and this is too about taking risks, So let me read it again. Evolving out of relying on luck rather than hard work. So it's about putting the work in that you know you need to put in. Now keep in mind, Monk Nun came up at the bottom. That's about kind of commitment to a spiritual cause, including your own spiritual discipline, regimen, what you need to do to connect. And of course, this is about willingness to follow your intuition, even when others doubt you. So that pretty much says it all. This is your growth edge over the course of the cycle. Let's take a look at what else we have for you. Scorpio, this month you are called to embody Crystal Gaia. As Crystal Gaia, I am captured light, the clear portal in the solid earth, the womb of rebirth and of second sight. The affirmation for you, Scorp, is this: I have clarity. I have insight. I can see to the heart of things with no obscurity. I send you so much love and support, and I will see you on the other side of this month. Talk to you soon. Bye.